let's go to the nightcap. And Rob, this is the game everybody's going to be watching. It'll be interesting to see if this does more than the 12.3 million that LSU Iowa did. I think that was a Sunday night.
I'm going to say no.
Right? I would think no, but I'll say this. It's a Friday night, so people don't have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, but people might be going out on Friday night. Sunday was different, Chris, right?
That's true.
I just think you had a bigger.
I don't think it will, but it's actually
if this is bigger than
big
that,
of a game.
But LSU, there's a factor there. They're the bad guys, the coach. You know what I mean, right? There's a rivalry. There's a couple of things that made people want, because there were people who wanted to see LSU win,
lose,
and her lose. They're like, you know what I mean? There were people.
Some people wanted her to win. Some people wanted her to lose. She's polarizing.
Right. She is definitely polarizing.
She's polarizing, and that's always good for ratings. So, yeah, we'll see. But I actually, Rob, there's a few big storylines here. One, and this isn't the biggest to me, but one is that UConn did not recruit Caitlin Clark. Think about that, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
She was a top 5 player in the country, and she wanted to play for UConn, like probably a lot of girls that grow up, right?
Yeah,
playing college basketball. That's like North Carolina or Duke for the men.
100%. Like all the girls, that's all they know about. All those players, championships. I know they haven't won of late, Chris. We talked about it, 2015?
Yeah, something like that. It's been 8 or 9 years, but they didn't recruit her. So she probably, you see players all the time memorize what players were drafted in front of them or what teams passed them over. You gotta believe. I mean, Gino Auriemma, Rob, it don't get any more legendary than that. You gotta believe she is like, remembers that and has used that for motivation. Oh, the best coach in women's college basketball history didn't want me? Okay.
And he went out of his way.
40.
He went out of his way, though, to talk about how great she is now.
Yeah, now.
Somebody should have said, well, why didn't you when she
Right, there you go. They needed a Rob Parker at that.
Come on. Hey, Chris, you don't think I would have asked that? You was like, you tell her all this, how great she is. How come she wanted to go to UConn? How come you didn't recruit her? Like,
right.
You got some explaining to do.
That think it was her attitude.
Okay.
Body language on the court, attitude, That's one thing I will say. Like, people can say Angel Reese got an attitude. She talks trash, blah, blah, blah. And y'all know I like Caitlin Clark. We went to the same high school in Iowa. I like her. But she got an attitude on the court. Her body language can be bad. I don't think Angel Reese's body language is as bad. She might talk more trash, but they both talk trash too. So let's keep it real and not act like that was some racism on that last year. All right? But the other storyline, Rob, is that everybody's talking about Caitlin Clark, and I do think she's the best player in the country, women's college basketball. But there's something that might make the argument for UConn's best player, who will face Caitlin Clark tonight, Paige Bueckers. And Rob, I remember seeing, and I'm going to admit, I don't watch a ton of women's college basketball.
Well, join the crowd.
Right, exactly.
But other than this tournament, Chris, like watching some of these games.
Well, Clark, I haven't watched the game. No, I haven't. I watched them a little this year. Not in South Carolina, LSU. Those 4, I watched. I didn't see much of Juju to the tournament.
Now, I saw Juju highlights because at USC we do a sports show every Wednesday.
Right.
So I've seen her a lot on the highlights that the kids, do the sportscast.
Juju is great and going to be greater. Right now, it's no shame. She's a freshman. She's not as good as Bueckers and Clark. Watching her.
Not yet.
I don't think so. She's more athletic, but she's not as polished as they are. Now, she may become that. But here's the point about Bueckers, Rob, that Gino said like a week or two ago that he's got the best player. He said, I got the best player in the world. And then he came after Caitlin Clark dropped 41 and 12 on LSU, and that's when he said, "Oh, she's the best player."
He said, "Strike that, right?"
Right. But Bueckers, Rob, they're the same class. Now Bueckers is, she was injured for a whole year and then only played 17 games another year. But when they were freshmen, Rob, and Caitlin Clark put up terrific numbers, 26 and 7 assists. Paige Bueckers, 20 points, 6 assists, almost 5 rebounds a game, was the player of the year. And not only that, Rob, she became the first freshman ever to sweep the Player of the Year awards. She won every Player of the Year award possible. First time ever. And then she got hurt. She had some knee injuries. And then, she's just recovering. And now you're starting to see her at the height of her powers again. So, I mean, for somebody to say, everybody talking about Caitlin Clark, but Bueckers is right there with her. They're the same size. I remember seeing Bueckers as a freshman and being like, "Oh, this girl."
But we know what it is, though, don't we? Don't we?
It's the
logo threes, Chris. It just is. I mean,
and she's a wonderful passer.
Right, she is. Right. What did she have the last game? 12?
12 assists. Yeah, she's averaging 10 assists in the tournament.
No, she can pass the basketball, but it's the logo threes that everyone's in love with. That's the game that we all watch now in the NBA. Chris, it's all about the threes. So she's playing a men's game style game, like an NBA game. And I think that's what has attracted so many people to, you talk about women's basketball. Because I covered a couple of WNBA games in my, columnist career in New York, the Liberty, and
you actually wrote columns about.
Yeah, I did. I wrote about 2 or 3 of them in my career. Because you know how it is. Like, why don't you go out there? Why don't you go out there?
You need something to write about today?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, really? Okay, I'll go. And it wasn't that entertaining to me. I'm just being real. Like
I don't watch WNBA.
The style of play, right? I'm not lying. I'm being honest.
Now we'll see. Maybe will I watch it next year with Caitlin Clark? Maybe.
But the style of play just didn't move me, and I think what's moved people, on Caitlin is just it's the star power with the threes.
I mean, a lot of times you see people, and this goes for men and women. You see more men that do this, but you see a lot of men and women that they're catch and shoot 3-point shooters. Caitlin Clark is dribbling into threes, faking you out, taking a step back or a dribble here, 3. I mean, the player's guarding her, giving her a couple of feet because she can go by you, but just 3, pull up a 3. Like, it's like Steph. I mean, really, right now, I'm not saying she's as good as Steph Curry. Obviously, she's not as good as him, but even relative, let's see what she does at the next level. But her game looks like Steph's. It really does. The way she'll pull up for a 3, the way she creates the space for the 3, the way she'll just be dribbling and then just all of a sudden throw up a quick 3 and it'll go in. So I agree with you that the way she plays, the style, the way it looks is a thing that attracts us and to her as well. And Rob, I'm going to keep it real. The way somebody's game looks can come into play in the who you think is better.
100%.
Look, I genuinely think Michael Jordan is better than LeBron. But part of it might be, and Rob, Michael Jordan to me had the best looking game in the history of basketball. Do you agree with that or not?
No, I agree.
I mean, Dr. J, Kyrie,
he was
they
smooth,
got beautiful
everything.
games too. Yes.
Everything that Mike did was incredible.
It just looked good.
It did look good.
Another player could do this.
Was good.
Yep.
His shot was good. The way he dunked, like the way he, the Air Jordan, like through the air, like there's a
moving
reason.
His legs when he dunked from the foul line, waving the ball. I put it like this, Rob. There are people. You could teach people, and there obviously are people that could do Michael Jackson's dance moves. The moonwalk and, all that stuff.
But
But you can't, it looks better when he did it.
And he was the ultimate, that's why he was the ultimate entertainer and,
right.
Dancer and
And that's why I say with Jordan, somebody could do a move or a dunk he did, but it looked better when he did it.
Yeah.
So that couldn't come into play.